Hey y'all, I'm Carol Corey, your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Welcome back to my creating corner. Thank you for popping in. Today I'm working on a mini photo album scrapbook, and as I drop it, it's just fabulous, and it's got all kinds of things that pop out and fold out and nooks and crannies to put all your goodies and your pictures in. This was inspired by a video by Tina Zinck, the Zinck Stamper. If you're in Canada and you need a Canadian demonstrator, I'll have her information down below. But anyway, so I have made several of these photo albums. They are lots of fun to make, they're really easy to make, and I just wanted to pop on and share with y'all as I make another one. Let me get this down to the creating table and get started. Okay, now to get started on our mini photo albums, you're going to decide what you want the decorative pages inside to be. Now this particular photo album I decorated with the 6x6 sheets from the Full of Life Designer Series paper. And on the back, of course, just like all of our Designer Series papers, it tells you the coordinating colors. I chose to have this one's coordinating color to be Pool Party. So my album pages and the cover are all decorated in all created with the Pool Party cardstock. Now this photo album I used Thoughtful Journeys to create, and the colors that go along with Thoughtful Journeys are of course listed on the back, and I did a little something different with this album. But the first thing you're going to do is decide if you're going to use one of our 6x6 papers, or are you going to use some of your 12x12 paper. You'll need like 27 pieces of 6x6, or you'll be using a total of 4 12x12 sheets. So decide what your decorative papers are going to be. Once you have that decision done, then you'll choose your cardstock that will coordinate with the pictures. This photo album, I'm going to be using Night of Navy cardstock. So to do the inside pages, I will need 8 sheets of Night of Navy. And let me grab my paper trimmer here. I'm going to take my Night of Navy sheets, and lengthwise, I'm going to cut them at 6 1/4 inches. And that comes right to the bend where the arm comes out on the paper trimmer. So I'll come to 6 1/4 inches. And this corner got a little smooshed down, so I'm going to use this side. Okay, so we'll cut that. And you are going to want to save this. Okay, so you're going to cut it 6 1/4 and 11 inches long. And then you will score it at 6 1/2. So you'll need 8 of these, and I've already done the other 7. Are all cut and scored at 6 1/4 and then scored at 6 1/2. Now, with this piece that's left over, these are going to be the connector sheets. They're 2 1/4 inches wide. You've already cut the 2 1/4 inches off when you did your 6 1/4 inch page. So you've got 2 1/4 inches wide. Now you're going to cut this off at 6 1/4. So now you have 2 1/4 by 6 1/4. And then we're going to score this at 1 inches full length. And then again at 1 1/4. And always check up here to make sure that it didn't get tilted a little bit, but that you are actually straight the whole way. Okay, now you've got the little fold lines, and it'll make a little space. These are the spacers between your pages. So now we've got our 8 cardstock pages cut at 6 1/4 by 11 and then scored at 6 1/2. The 2 1/4 inches that we took off the side, you cut down to 6 1/2 and then you cut down to 6 1/4, and then you scored at 1 inch and 1 1/4 inches. Now we're going to go ahead and do the covers. For the covers, you're going to want chipboard or cardboard or something stiff. If you get paper pumpkins, you can even cut the paper pumpkin box apart. This is my template, 6 1/4 inch square. It is cut from a paper pumpkin box. Rather than using chipboard, I've cut the squares from just a shipping box. Okay? Now you just get your template up, and our Take Your Pick tool. There's some new accessories, and one of those new accessories is a straight razor. Isn't that awesome? So we're just going to put our template here, and then taking the straight razor on our Take Your Pick tool, and of course you have to protect your work surface, we're just going to cut. So there we have a 6 1/4 inch square front and a 6 1/4 inch square back. Your Take Your Pick tool is such a convenient, handy tool to keep around. And now you can get additional accessories to go with it. It comes with a little gummy piece. Here's another one. It comes with this little gummy piece, which is so easy for picking up little sequins and very small die cuts. And the other end is a piercer, and that's great for helping get your release dies, or to hold down your die cut or your sentiment while you're embossing it, heat embossing it. And the other side has a spatula. These are fabulous. It goes under a dimensional. If you put a dimensional on where you don't want it, this right here will go right under that adhesive and lift it off the paper without damaging your paper. They're awesome. But now we have this new set of accessories that includes the X-Acto knife. This is really, really sharp. Always put your cover over the blade when you're not using it. Okay, so we've got our 2 pieces of stiff, heavy cardboard that we are going to cover. We're going to cover these in just regular cardstock. Okay, you can cover it in designer series paper if you like, but I prefer to cover it in the cardstock so that the spine, I'll show you when we get it put together why I prefer the cardstock. Okay, so to cover this in the cardstock, we're just going to put a good bit of glue here. Place it down. Okay, now I'm going to take my paper snips, and I'm just going to trim off each end so you have about the same amount of paper on all 4 sides. Yes, I could have done that before I glued the cardboard down, but that's okay. That's okay. All right, now what we're going to do, to make it easier to fold, I'm going to score it. So I'm going to take my scoring tool, I'm going to put this up here, and I'm going to come up and I'm going to score it like right next to where it would fold, and then I'm going to, even with the bottom there, but then I'm going to come over 1/4 inch and give it a second score. I'm going to do that on all 4 sides. And that'll just make it fold easier up across. All right, I've already done the other one. So now I'm ready to get it covered. I'm going to take my snips and I'm going to cut the corners off. I'm not going to cut it right up to the cardboard, and I'm not going to cut it way out off the cardboard. I'm going to cut it kind of just where the two outer score lines meet. And there we go. And then coming over, now because I do want this to be nice and tight, I'm going to use tear and tape. Okay, let's put a strip here. Top. Yeah, it's not going to look super fabulous at this point, but that's okay. It will look super fabulous when we're done. Oh, I cut that one kind of jaggedy, didn't I? There we go. Okay. So, let's pull off that. I'm going to grab my Take-A-Pick tool again, and I'm going to grab the piercing side, and that'll make it much easier to get the tear and tape started. And I'm going to pull it tight, pull it across, pull it tight, and press it down. Again, pull it tight, press it down. Okay, there we go. Yes, you're going to have this open, but it's okay because you're going to cover it with designer series paper once we put the book together. So let me get the other one done. Again, we cut the corners off. Not all the way, that one I kind of came out a little too far, so let me get a little bit closer in. Okay. Oops. Okay. There we go. That's one cover, and there's my other cover. Let me clean this up. And we have one more step before we can start assembling the pages. Okay. The last thing we need now before we can assemble the book is one more piece of cardstock, and this is going to be to cover the spine. It should be 6 1/4 inches. Yep, it's 6 1/4 inches by 4. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the we're going to score it at 1 inch, and we're just going to score it at every 1/4 inch all the way to 3 inches. Yes, you can use your paper trimmer for this, but if you've got this scoring tool, let me tell you, it makes it much quicker when you've got to do multiple scores at a time. Yeah. But there we go. Now we have to take this and get it very mobile. So on each of these little scores, you're going to bend it, okay? Fold it on each score. so that it has a lot of nice mobility. There we go. All right, now we'll take our page separators and we're going to do the same thing. And I'm going to grab my bone folder just to make sure I get nice tight score lines. We have 5 of these connectors to do. Okay, there we go. Now we want the pages. The pages are 6 1/4 by 11, and then they're scored at 6 1/2. Okay, all 8 are given a nice tight fold. Now we're going to pick up 2 of these, and we're going to sit them together. Sit them together so they make an arrow pointing towards the right. Okay, the shorter piece, they're going to make the arrows. So these are going to be touching like this. Now we're going to use some glue, and we're going to glue just 3 sides. We're not going to glue the top. We're going to leave the top unglued, so this will become a pocket in between the two where you can slip a photo down in. Now you can use glue if you want, or you can use tear and tape. If you use the glue, it might give you an extra minute or 2 to make sure that everything is lined up quite correctly. But if you use the tear and tape, it's going to, well, it's just a good hold. And you know you're not going to have your glue running up into the pocket. Let me show you what we're going to do here. Okay, so we're going to take the other one, and they're going to make an arrow pointing outwards. And we're going to get these lined up together, and we're going to adhere them. Remember, I only did here, bottom, and along the fold line. Now, you've got space in the middle. Let me do that tight down. That'll fit. Okay, now you've got space in the middle. Okay, and we're going to do this for every one of these pairs. Okay, so here again, got the tear and tape, the outside edge, the bottom, and on the inside of the fold of the score line. Remember, it's got to be an arrow pointing to the right. Line it up. There you go. Alrighty, we are ready to put it together. Okay, this is easy. Now make sure you're pointing to the right, and that way you'll make sure that all of your openings are on the top. Now to make it easier, to make sure that you don't accidentally turn it upside down, I should have done it before. Okay, that's the bottom. So here's the top. So what I would recommend you do at this point is get your 1-inch punch and stick it in there and just cut a little punch, punch. That way you know that the pocket is on the top. Both at the same time, it's just a little stiffer. Okay, so I've got my 4 pages, and I've got the opening on the top for each of the 4 pages. Okay, I'm going to take, remember we had 5 of these, so we're going to take this. These are the page connectors, okay? So this is easy. We're just going to glue it there and glue it there. And I am going to use glue for this because it's not going to have anything to leak onto. This right upside the crease line, right next to the score. And then again here. And we're going to lay this one, oopsie, like that, right up to the score line. There we go. Now these 2 pages are connected. Now we're going to do the same again with the next one. We're going to put some glue along this connector, and we're going to lay it here. The score line. Another connector, put it on this one, there we go. Just go right up to the score line. That'll give you room to add your items, your pictures, and your scrapbook things if you want to save some, like plane tickets, or I accidentally ended up with a hotel key, and you know how it is, you lose one and then when you get home you find it in your luggage. So I've got that in one of my scrapbooks. And here we've got this. I'm going to put it here. come right here. Okay. Now we're ready to attach the covers. And we're going to attach the covers just like we did with the pages. Now make sure that this side is facing into the book. Now this right here is why I prefer doing the cover in the same color cardstock. Because once we're done, at this point, we could have put the cover of the spine up under there, but the spine cover will go on the outside. This way it'll blend in, and then you can put your designer series paper over it and kind of hide that a little bit. That one I learned from a little bit of experience through making one. Go. Now we're going to take the spine cover and we're just going to put glue on the area in between that first score line and the edge. Make sure that first score line is on the edge of your cardboard. And flip it over and repeat. Make sure that score is on the edge of the cardboard cover. And there you go. It's done. It's ready to be decorated. Yay! Now you see the edge of the spine cover is here. Okay, there's the little ridge. If I had covered this cover with designer series paper, this spine cover would have been across it, would have been over it. And I can show you on another one exactly what I'm talking about. But by covering it in cardstock, then when you take your designer series paper and you put it on the front, then it hides that. And on the inside here, let's go ahead and fold all these pages back in. And on the inside, where the cardboard is showing, again, you're going to be covering it with a 6x6 piece of designer series paper. So it works out perfectly. And then when you put your designer series paper on your panels, yes, it's going to be covering that little finger hole a little bit. Well, you just take your punch and you just put it down in there and you punch it to reveal the finger hole completely. I'm not going to do that right now here on camera because I want to show you the ones that I've done with various options for how to decorate your photo album. Okay? So every one of these pages has a pocket. You've got the pocket in between that you can put pictures in or any kind of scrapbook memorabilia. You've got plenty of pages here to add pictures to, and a picture here, and flip them open. And you've got all this area to, let me put these on here so you can really see. Okay, you've got 1, 2, and then these two are half sheets. Plenty of room for journaling, explaining what there is. You can take different designer series papers to decorate however you want. You can use your stamp sets to decorate however you want. Okay, look how much space you have there. You can really put a lot of pictures in here, or a lot of keepsakes. Now, if you didn't want one, of course you don't have to fill it completely up. It'll go down rather flat. If you didn't want to have one, if you didn't need one that could expand quite so much, you can, and I've done this. I've made one or two where I've left out an entire the pages that were glued together. I've just left one of those out. Then you'll only need 4 of the page connectors and reduce your spine size by 1/4 of an inch. And that does, one single set of pages is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you've got 2 that would be the 6 by 6 pages, and 4 that would be the 4.5 by 4 by 6 pages. This measures 4.5. So if you do take one of the sections out, it will be a little bit thinner and still be a nice book. But this is so nice. I know I'm going to do one, and I'm going to do it for a little recipe book. And maybe the grandkids love to cook. They love to get on that stool and stir and all with their mamas. So I think I'm going to make one that's a recipe book and put pictures of them cooking, and then in the little slots put a copy of the recipe that they like the best. So there's so much you can do with these books. I love them. Now, one thing to keep in mind, when you're using our 6 by 6 packs of designer series paper, like I say, the 2 ends do need 4 by 6. So when you get the designer series 6 by 6 packs, you get 4 sheets per pack of each design. So what I like to do is do one side on the inside, and then on the end flaps do the other side of the paper. And so it's a nice flow of, the colors all match so perfectly together. The opportunities and possibilities are endless. So I'm not going to decorate this one on camera. It does take a little bit of time. You've got like 27 sheets of paper, and I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do the cover. So let me move on and show you how I've decorated other little photo album scrapbooks. Okay, what I did with these two is I used the designer series paper and the Cards and More pack. With this one, I used a textured, oh heck, I don't remember. It's discontinued. It's from last year. But for this one, I used the Thoughtful Journeys, and on the inside, I used the paper to decorate. Now I've got over 100 pictures in this right here. There's over 100 pictures in here. I haven't mounted them where I'm going to mount them, and I haven't done the journaling because I knew I was going to have this on camera. But this is the Thoughtful Journeys Designer Series paper. And you see here on this one, I had a piece of the Designer Series paper, and then I cut another sheet so I could have a pocket here. And then here, this is one of the Memories and More cards. The pack is Thoughtful Journey Memories and More card pack. You get so many cute, special designs, like Happy Birthday. We didn't celebrate any birthdays, even though we did have a birthday cake, because when I went to the grocery store on the island, the only ice cream cakes they had said Happy Birthday. So I used the Memories and More card pack that coordinated with the Thoughtful Journeys Designer Series paper. And I used the cards to, like on this one, I made a little pocket. Here I used Designer Series paper to create a pocket on the side of this flap, and another pocket here. Here, this is a Memories and More card that made this pocket. This is one of our new stamp sets in the online specials. A company called Close to My Heart unfortunately did close their doors, and Stampin' Up purchased the Close to My Heart products. And so you can purchase some of the Close to My Heart products, and look at this fabulous stamp set, and it comes with the coordinating dies. So I used a lot of these stamps and the dies to decorate my photo albums, such as this page right here. I love riding my bicycle, and the Georgia's Golden Isles are the best place for bike riding. Jekyll Island, north end of Jekyll Island was fabulous. But here's another one of the cards. Celebrate today, making a little flap. This is one of the stamps from that stamp set, Lazy Days of Summer. I stamped it right on the designer series paper in a coordinated color, and of course I've got my pockets in between, and some of the pieces I will use to attach little things to, which I'll show you in another book. But look at all the room, and here I cut this one at an angle, and it'll make a little pocket. Here's another one. Here's more. Here's another angled piece right there with a pocket to put something down in. And that is this one. Now this is going to be my memory book, and you see on the cover I did not use any designer series paper. I did my own inking, and just like you would make a fancy card, I just made a really big card front and put it on the front of this. This I did make with the Under the Moon stamp set that Stampin' Up sells. And I love this set. It makes a gorgeous card, and it makes a gorgeous cover for the photo album. And then this is the Alphabet a la Mode, St. Simon's. Okay, these two, okay, here, this one I covered in the designer series paper, the cover of it. Now, I didn't like having the different color spine, so I went ahead and made a spine out of the designer series paper also. This is out of our Country Woods pack. And I did do kind of like a card, but this right here, isn't that cute? This is, oh, let me grab it. Okay, I covered these two. It was a family trip, so I'm making one for each family. So these are for my daughters, and I did the covers on these using Beach Day. I think this is so cute, and with the dies and all, isn't this an adorable cover? And I think it looks good on the weathered wood, and I also like it on just the pool party. Now this is the, what did I use? Shy Shamrock maybe? Because it was one of the inks that I used for the water. And these two I covered and in the bright colors, and I used some designer series paper from the Country Woods to make some little pockets and for some journaling. And this is one of the toys. This was a paper pumpkin. It's a catch toy, but I think it's going to be perfect here for their pictures from their dolphin cruise. Put a little fish on there, and here's a little splishy splash water. So this is with the brighter colors, and this one is the same. I haven't really finished decorating it yet. I thought I'd wait, and I do have things already ready for them to go to add in where they need once they get their pictures in here. Okay, and these make great special event memory books. We had 2 family weddings in 1 month, and here is why I'm saying another reason why I prefer to cover it in the same color cardstock, your covers, because this one I went ahead and had put the designer series paper on once I covered it, and then the spine covered some of it, so I did decorate it then with the gold leafing. And this one I used a lot of the cards, and I did some embossing in here. There's a little bit, just make it cute and fancy. And like I say, this is really more of a scrapbook kind of card. There's like plane tickets, and this is the hotel key that I accidentally took. You know, you add in some ribbons, you know, little journaling notations, tuck in there, and just lots of great ways to make a really cute memory book from a special weekend. Well, this one is 2 weekends. So, oh, those are my children. So, anyway, so that's that one. And then this one is different also. This is one my sister and I had a big time right before Christmas. And so this is all Christmas things. There I have Magical 1223. And again, these were cut with the Alphabet a la mode dies. But here you see I used some ribbon and a trinket. These are a Memories and More card pack that went along with one of our Christmas papers last year. And so that's what I had used, was the Memory and More card packs. Really are cute and add so much. But here's a lot of like little side pockets, and here I've got the ribbons to pull things out, and extra journaling. Just all kinds of different things tucked in. Here's another side pocket, and the pockets in the top, and quite the memory book, huh? And this was what our polar bear stamp set with the punch. So it's really cute to put everything together. So we have a wonderful memory book from all the Christmas activities and winter activities, weddings, and then beach getaways. These little mini memory books are fantastic. If you have any questions about something I did, just ask me below, or you can email me through my website. Of course, my website is, you'll see it up top, and I'll have it in the description box below. And if you're interested in getting the Thoughtful Wishes Designer Series paper and the Coordinating Thoughtful Wishes Memories and More card pack, because it makes such a beautiful, beautiful creation. I mean, your memory books, your cards, whatever, they're gorgeous. But if you'd like to get them and you don't have a US demonstrator, I'm here for you. So you'll see everything. Feel free to ask any questions. And I think I'm going to go ahead and get to decorating this one for my son and daughter-in-law. Okay, thank you so much for hanging in there. I hope you like my memory books. And until next time, keep making the world a beautiful place. Bye.